Peace, family. Peace, family. Welcome back to the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel. Chef Joseph again, sounding off. Just want to give you a thought for today. Hit the like button. The thought it came to me a couple days ago, and and again, I don't just post just to be posting. A lot of this stuff comes from downloads and just different experiences that I've had as an entrepreneur. And with that, you're going to go through, and I have went through various types of experiences with just dealing with people, and I know that I'm in a space now where I've definitely coming in for a landing for a mental health break. Maybe that should be the title of this video. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay. All right. Mental health break. Okay. All right. So let's talk about mental health. There we go. Okay. That wasn't the direction I was going, but obviously it's meant for me to have a conversation about it. As a person who's been through a lot, speaking for myself, and some of you can identify, and some of you may not be able to identify, but you can kind of feel that something's off. What do you mean off, Chef? You just feel that something is off because you know that you're a good person. You know that you've done your best and done right by people, but something still seems to be off. We're talking about your mental health here. It's time to take a mental health break. That's the title of this video. It's time to take a mental health break. Man, so what I've noticed in life is that the more people that you have around you could be a detriment to your mental health. And I see personally as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people that I see that are around me, just different things like that, that struggle with just trying to balancing day-to-day life, and just living their life, paying their bills, trying to, to make things happen for themselves. But yet they're surrounded with people who have things going on. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got something going on, as we should. In life, yeah, it's good to have something going on for yourself. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, what you have to realize is that you have to be careful who you surround yourself with, because a lot of people haven't leveled up, which means their baggage can quickly become your baggage if you don't recognize the signs. And then you look at that you've been, you look up, you realize you've been paying, holding the weight and carrying the wagon pulling the wagon for someone else who is not, and this the kicker to that, who is not willing to pull the wagon themselves. That's that little side piece. So here you believe in someone, you believe in their abilities, their crafts, their talents, things like that, but yet they're not willing to even pull their own weight. DD, D-dash, There was a situation where, anyway, I ain't gonna go down that road. That's another conversation. But really, because I could expound on what I just said. But it was a situation where someone wasn't even believing in their own dream. But then when people they believed in them in this particular business more than they believed in it for themselves. And at the end of the day, these people were left holding the bag. Not good. But that's another conversation. So let's talk about mental health. So I noticed that for me speaking, I've been through a lot in my life, which is not necessarily bad. It shaped me into the man that I have become. But one day I looked up and I said, you know what? I have been pulling the weight for everyone else. What happens to when I need a break? Just like you. What happens when you need a break? Can you identify with that? Hit the like button. Can you identify where you, like, the more you give to someone, the more it seems to not be enough? Isn't that strange? You can do, and I've noticed, the more and the nicer you can be to people, you know, it's almost like at first, oh, yeah, yeah, chef, thank you, blah, 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 blah. But then they seem to get too comfortable and want to blur the lines. The more you do for people, sometimes the more they want, or they take it for granted. But I'm saying that to say, because if you're not careful, those type of people can pull on your mental health. Being surrounded by the wrong people can pull or put a strain on your mental health. Just being in a day-to-day mundane conversations, relationships, can pull on your mental health. I don't know about y'all, but I have no drama going on around me whatsoever, like none. I ain't got no external stuff happening. I'm a hard working dude trying to find his way in life, just like the next person. But I noticed that it's time to take a mental health break. For some of y'all, that's pretty difficult, because it can be a little difficult. I'm not saying it is per se difficult, but it can be challenging to find the time to take a mental health break. What do you mean, chef? What do you mean take a mental health break? I mean turn off all the noise. Literally. Turn off the cell phone, turn off the notifications, turn off the people that are causing you strain and drama. Where you say, you know what, I'm not entertaining anything else. I need to get me back. Talking about taking a mental health break. A lot of you have a hard time being alone. A lot of you have a hard time just being and just sitting alone with yourself. Have you noticed, like, I've noticed this, but check this out. Just look around you. Let's just say you go to, a random example, a doctor's office. Put your cell phone down. Matter of fact, just leave it outside. And just look at how many people, they don't give the respect for the time for the doctor's office. But yet they pick up their phones and they're scrolling. Always something to do. A lot of y'all can't even live without your cell phone. I get it, yeah. Yeah, you have a family, you should have your phone just in case children need to call, or, whatever, however that plays out. But what about just turning off the cell phone for a season? What about telling those around you, hey, I'm not taking any calls for 3 days? And just spend some time with yourself. Because it's very important that you're able to function at the level that God or the Most High is giving you to function at. Because if you go down, who's going to be there? I know I've made a major decision in 2026, and I am so glad I did. And I realized how much I had been pulling for everyone else. Not to mention the weight that I've carried for not being in my own child's life. Not by my fault, but behind someone who purposely did these things. And I'm not going down that road today, but I'm just saying that carries a level of weight when you know that, you're a good person, and you haven't been afforded certain opportunities when you're still being painted to be a bad person, and that's far from the truth, but the truth will reveal itself. We know that. But taking time for yourself is not a bad thing. Taking a time out from life, from the cell phone, even a vacation, is a good thing. When you can just turn off the noise and just take a vacation for yourself. It doesn't have to be Las Vegas. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It may just be going to the library, reading a book, going to the ocean, going to the mountains. It could be different things. But I want you to definitely pay attention to this conversation, because I think it's definitely, with so much going on in the world, it's good to take time for yourself so you can keep your mental health in check. And a couple of videos back, I talked about this, where you don't let people pull on you, because people will take you for granted. And then once they see an opening, they'll keep pulling on you, tugging on you. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. I'm at a place now in 2026, and hopefully you can get to this place too. There's nothing wrong with helping people. It's not. But there's a such thing is when people haven't leveled up in their own lives, and then they want to pull on you for the extra. Seriously. It's a situation I want to say so bad right now, but I'm not. But just know, and it's not me personally, it's just something I've seen with people where this particular individual has all of the connections around her. This is not any type of relationship or anything. It's just from observation. Has all the plugs around her to just plug in, and she can just skyrocket. But she won't do it. Well, Chef, not everybody. Okay, so if everybody's not willing to put in their own plug, then why should I do it? Why should you do it? Why should anybody do it? If they're not willing to pick up the plug and put it in the socket themselves, hello, why shouldn't they pick it up? And, yo, you gonna plug it in for them every single time? I'm totally against that. Totally against it. But however, I'm using that as a scenario that if that particular person knows that they can pull on you, they know they're supposed to put the socket in the plug. You know what I'm saying? They know they're supposed to produce. They got the faculties. They got the mental capacity. They got everything they need. All they got to do is pick up the cord and stick it in the socket. And they won't do it. So since you stepped in to continue to do it for them, how are they going to level up? How? How are they going to level up? You crippling them. You crippling them. Oh, Chef, man, you know what I'm saying? That. All right. But I'm saying that to say that now you find yourself in that situation doing for them things that they should have been doing for themselves. But they won't do it as long as Mama Bird gonna swoop in and Mama Bird come in and swoop in. Every time that Mama Bird come in, yo, especially for these males, that Mama Bird swoop them up. You got a real man that say, hey, even though I'm not your man, whatever the case may be, I'm just using an example. Even though you ain't got to be the man, just the point is, if you're a straight up male, nothing against anyone else. I'm a heterosexual male. That's who I am. Nothing against anybody else and all. Do what you do. But when a man says, hey, there's, just looking out for a sister, hey, watch that. Mama Bird, swoop in. That means just disregard the other male trying to give Mama Bird advice about a young male. They're just going to do it their way. And then they wonder why a lot of our young men are coming up with feminine characteristics or feminine behavior. Not cool. But that's just what that is. I'm saying that to say that could be a situation that's around you where you do for people, you want to look out for people, you want to talk to people, you want to help people. But the more you do it, you find yourself, your mental health is being challenged. You know what I'm saying? So it comes a time where you have to let go of certain things. You know what I'm saying? You have to let go of certain people. And you need to get yourself back. And so that can play a toll or it can play a part in your mental health. But back to what I was saying, I realized how much I was doing for a lot of people. Everyone benefited, for real. And literally, I come from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And it came a time where I said, you know what, Chef, I'm taking a time out. And after this next turn around the NASCAR track, yo, gonna grow me some wings and fly away. Not to the upper room. Nothing wrong with me. I'm just saying, yo, I'm gonna get ghosts. Why? Mental health. So I want to encourage y'all today, to take time out for your mental health. And if you have anyone around you that keeps pulling on you, you trying to figure it out for grown people, they pulling on you, then now their problems and their weight become your weight. That can challenge your mental health. You got to learn how to what they say, the Christians, let go and let God. That's what they saying it. Let go and let God. Yeah, let go and let God. Because see, if you keep swooping in and saving people, that's going to pull on you. Now, you're supposed to be doing something with your life, but now their weight is becoming your weight. Then not only that, now you got to carry your weight, your day-to-day living. You trying to pay bills, trying to make it, trying to be creative, but now you pulling your wagon with your responsibilities that you have. Now you pulling a whole nother 200 pounds in a wagon that can really get out the wagon and pull for self. You dig? But they won't do it. But I see a lot of people that's struggling with mental health. And, so one of the things I would definitely say is, one, watch your diet, watch what you're putting in your body. That's one major thing. Definitely, because I don't want to get into the sciences of all that stuff. I can tell you I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat meat. Very rare will I eat meat, but I've been a pescatarian for quite a while now, and don't eat meat unless I'm in a position, whatever. But it's very, very rare. Being in the chefing industry, there's been times where something's left over, and see, for me, coming from not, when you know it's like not to have anything to eat, you don't waste food. And so I'm saying, so I don't believe in wasting food. I'd much rather just eat it first or just give it away or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying that to say is, yeah, I'm a pescatarian, but you got to watch what you put in your body, because if you really think about it, not going too deep, but you're dealing with a lot of genetically modified GMOs, and I'll leave that there. The GMO that are in the food, seedless grapes and things like that. You got to be very mindful of what you're intaking in your body, because if you're putting in garbage, then just know your output is not going to be the same. So for me, plant-based diet, pescatarian, and that and plenty of water. Got a big bottle right here. Smart water. It's upside down to y'all. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, sipping on water every day. So, but be encouraged by this. Take care of your mental health. And please turn off the stations that are around you, you know what I'm saying? And take time for you to smell the roses. I was talking to one of the managers, shout out to Kay, on some things, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, yeah, it comes a time where, you gotta step back and get your health back, get your mental health, get your faculties back, get yourself back so you can be optimal, at what you need to do, you know what I'm saying, to serve your God and create what you put here to create, And so, but it's a beautiful space that I'm in personally. Even with all the bumps and the hiccups that I've experienced, I still came out on the other side, you know what I'm saying? And, but a lot of that was because I took care of my mental health, you know, going to the gym, swimming, going to the mountain, so many things you can do. And so I just want to tell y'all, just don't forget that, just even though you're working and you're running a lot, take a day or so for yourself. Take some time for you, so you can be okay. You know what I'm saying? So your mind can be clear, and don't let people get into your head and pull you different directions. You need to find your path, get on it. But the only way you're really going to do it, you're going to have to gain clarity, and you definitely have to take back your mental health. So that is the word for today. The title of this video is, you have to take time for your mental health, or take time for your mental health, on what level you can find it. But I can tell you now, it's not going to be involving a lot of people. That's for sure. Because to get yourself back, honestly, you have to get alone to yourself. So y'all have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe to the channel, the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel. I got a big surprise for y'all once this stuff come off the press. And but yeah, it's for real. Anyway, that's what that is. So have a good one. I'm out. Be encouraged. If you need any consultations on entrepreneurship, ChefJoseph'sKickSauce.com. All right? Peace.